Hey, sister, sitting store, what I'm about to preach on. Damn, sister, close the door. Watch what you step out on. I said, hey, sister, so before you become a sin, I said, hey, sister, there is more, even if you think there isn't. When you live your life day to day, there will always be obstacles in your way. But don't let that get you down, girl.
Yes, please. Hey, sister.
Hey. How are you doing? Hello.
Yes, I am great. It is a sunny day. When is the last time we had a sunny day?
So grateful. It's been cold lately. I'm so grateful.
Yes, please.
Right about March, I've had it. I'm ready to travel.
It's true. And we are still here, but we get to live, vicariously through the internet. So yes. 30 days of HERstory. We are here together with our sister JoMarie on day 3. And Jo, you were with us last year, the first time we did this, when we did 19 days of HERstory. And so thank you. Thank you for doing that last year and being back.
Yeah, no, it's my pleasure. I'm always willing to share my story and speak my truth and hopefully help somebody else along the way. So it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the invite.
Yes. And I mean, and that's the thing, right? The sharing the story for the sake of supporting our sister that needs, needs that clearer path of figuring out how to get through it while she's still in it. It's from a place of service at the end of the day. That's that's where we all come together here for this whole month for our sisters. So tell us please about you.
Oh boy. So, there's a lot that I have done. I am in the entrepreneurial space. And I am basically, in a nutshell, a coach to female entrepreneurs that are looking to start their business, scale their business. My background is in finance. I've founded and managed a few businesses in my career in different sectors and different industries, whether it be the virtual call center that we ran across Canada, or finance. Finance is my first love. And we had a boutique financial firm where I managed staff and we served our clientele through investments, insurance, mortgages, all that great stuff. I'm a math nerd, I receive the horrible title of a math nerd because I've always loved numbers since I was a child. So finance and numbers is my first love. But I've done so many different things in so many different industries. And my heart is just to help other women along the way. One of the big mantras at Four Streams is lift as you climb. So as I grow and as I evolve and as I learn, what can I do to help somebody else so that their journey is easier? So they don't have to learn the lessons that I had to learn and they could get to their mountaintop so much faster. So that's what I do.
Yeah. Now you mentioned Four Streams, and I remember that there's a story behind the name. So tell us a little bit about what Four Streams is and the story there.
Yeah, that's my pleasure. So I'm a Christian. I love Jesus every day, all day. And Four Streams actually come, whether you're a Christian or not, you know the Bible story about Adam and Eve. And Four Streams was actually birthed out of that story in the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve were sustained by these 4 streams that poured into the garden, 4 streams on every side. And it sustained life for them. It, helped with vegetation for them. And it's that concept that I take from that story into my daily work, is basically looking at in your garden, what are the 4 streams that you could create that can be working for you? It might be passive income. It might be your day-to-day grind, your job. That's okay too. It might be real estate income. It might be investment income, but we need to set up minimum, and there's like 18, 20, 25 streams of income, but at least the minimum 4 streams of income that's always feeding to help you move forward in your vision and your purpose, and really birthing the things that are inside of you, because you need money to do that.
Yes.
And
that idea that we might know the story, but how do we apply the story to practical areas of our lives? We may have grown up in church or not grown up in church, or heard it as a rumor, even however we've come across it. This is a story that most of us have known since childhood, but have we seen the significance of its application in the areas of our finances, our business, these practical tools? And that's one of the things that I love about what you do, to take something that could seem abstract and far off and make it so concrete. And girl, us math people, that's what we do. I'm a confessed math nerd with you too.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like, I used to bring home extra math homework. It was pretty bad. I love it though.
Yes. The other day, my daughter comes up to me, my 6-year-old, and says, randomly, I wasn't even talking to her. Yeah. She comes to me and she says, "Mommy, I don't think I'm ready for calculus yet." I was like, what?
What's happening?
I was like,
that's
do
beautiful.
you know what calculus is?
Yeah.
Like, we're not even having conversations about you doing calculus, but she has her little thing, and she started, she didn't even tell me she was doing it, but she started going into like the grade 12 curriculum and messing around with some of the stuff in there. And she comes back to me and she's like, I'm serious. And she's like, "Mommy, is this a function?"
What? Brilliant. Oh, wow. Fan that flame, girl. Fan that flame. That is beautiful.
So we need more of our math brain sisters. All right. Like, don't worry about the labels, girls. If you love math, go for it.
Yeah. And you know what, even when I was in finance, I'm still in finance, but when I was, mentoring and training my staff and stuff, I found it so, it was just so gratifying, because I found a lot of females are afraid of numbers. They kind of, it's like, I don't understand it, so I don't want anything to do with it. And being that person to help to demystify the numbers and help them to really create a financial future for themselves so that they felt confident in the decisions that they made. It was so gratifying for me to be able to kind of bring it to a place that it made sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I do that with business now too. That's all.
Okay. Thank you for doing that. Because we do know math can seem very scary. Especially when the numbers disappear. I'm guessing how cute is in response to my daughter's crazy calculus conversation. But yes. So I want to know, because you were talking about the ability to bring, abstract, out there math down to something that is tangible and practical and realistic for female entrepreneurs in particular. So in your opinion, for them, like, I'm assuming it's important that they should have a vision if they're going to take this knowledge and apply it. So what is your opinion of the importance of vision?
Vision is everything. Vision it's your North Star. And without having that compass, that direction, and it goes for everything. Like, vision is not just business. Vision is vision for my health, vision for my children, vision for my finances, vision for every aspect of living is so crucial, because without it, you allow everything in. The gates are wide open, Yeah. And everything gets let in. But when I have a vision and I have a North Star, a compass as to where I'm going in life, where I'm going in business, not everything gets put on my agenda. Not everything gets put on my to-do list if it doesn't serve the ultimate vision. So even in the area of mindset, I do a lot of mindset work with my females. And even in that space, when you wake up in the morning and you have that 2 or 3 hours of high productivity, it is so crucial that you guard that time and focus on your vision, focus on the things that will move your vision forward. No emails, no text messages, no one else gets in that space, because you're pushing the engine, you're building that momentum and pushing forward, and that's that time where you could really see progress in your vision. Yeah. So for me, I think vision is crucial. It's big in business because if you have staff now, if you start adding people to your team, they need to know where this machine of a business is going. What are we pulling together towards? Yes. You know, it's like that picture that, you know, that we want to pull down and make it our reality today. Yeah. But it's in the daily habits that will get you to that final place in the future. So vision is critical. And sometimes we have it in our heads.
Yes.
The daily habits, exactly. Yeah. But sometimes we have it in our head, but we haven't put word or put it to paper. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. It has to be in writing. It has to be easy to grasp.
That's right. That's right. And the purpose, I always remind people, the purpose of write the vision and make it plain is so that another can come behind you and run with it, you know?
Yes.
And when we release that vision from our heads, and it may seem so mundane and it may seem so simple, but if we even take the example, let's say you're planning an event. One of the things that I say all the time is crucial, you know, consider what happens after you have this brilliant plan and the morning of the event, you wake up with a sore throat.
Right?
And it was never written down, right? Yes. How is everybody else going to fill in when it's all in your head, you know? Same thing here. Same thing with our vision. Right. Absolutely. So true. Now, we are talking as visionary women, right? We're talking as women with multiple passions. You've talked about having multiple businesses. I know you're involved in the nonprofit space as well. You know, we know that there's so much that we want to be able to give, and we know there's so much that we have to give. Has there ever been a time in your life where you felt as though your own voice was being diminished?
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes. And maybe all could really relate with that question. We've all been at a place where, whether it was the truth or not, maybe the conversation in our mind was that we didn't have anything of substance to give. And so we diminished our voice. I think there's some truth there for my history. But also, I did a lot of volunteer work for many, many years in an organization where it was very male dominant and where my voice didn't matter. It was okay if I was in the background doing the work, but the foreground, it wasn't something that was celebrated. And to be quite honest, I also had the voice in my head that said I didn't really have a whole lot to give. So I was okay in the background, you know? So it's taken some time for me to embrace all of who I am and to find the courage, the inner strength, the grit to show up authentically as myself and to embrace the failures and the messiness of what that means and to be okay with it. I'm not always okay. I'm not 100% there yet. I have my moments, but just to live vulnerably and know that the critics will always be there. Truth be told, the critics, the ones that are the loudest, have a huge amount of failures that they're walking through themselves. That's because If I cut, I bleed red just like everybody else. We've all been there, and we all have that pain. So almost embracing the critics and embracing that negativity and doing it anyways has allowed me to walk out of that silence season.
Yes.
You know, and age helps too. So you get to a place where you're like, you know, whatever. Whatever, I'm going to fall on my face. And then what? I'm going to mess it up. And then what? Then I learn from those mistakes, right? I learn from those mistakes. I dust myself off and I try again, because just like you, I'm human. Just like you, I'm flawed. And that's okay, because I can never hit that mountaintop unless I'm willing to take the first step.
That's right.
So that's been a little bit of my journey. Yeah.
I mean, JoMarie just dropped like a straight up Caribbean suck teeth, but you know, like that's just like
there's no words for it, right? Sometimes you just the only thing you can do is strips your teeth, like
right. Oh my gosh. Yes. But honestly, that is so true. And you even talked about, you know, it's easier for us to assign the diminishing of our voices to other people, but there is also responsibility in finding our voice. There is our own journey. There is our own willingness to be open to the critics. There's our own willingness to try it and let it be messy anyways, you know, figure it out as we go. And as math girls, I know that does not come naturally to us. You know,
hard, right? That is so hard. It's so hard.
I mean, I want to calculate all the probabilities first. You know, I want to weigh my pros and cons. That's right. I want to manage my risk. You know.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah.
But it is still, you know, that my dad calls it, I mean, I'm sure he got this from somewhere else, but I heard it from him, analysis paralysis, you know? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where you spend so much time trying to dig deep into every minute detail that you totally miss the big picture at the end of the day, you know? And as we are learning more and more throughout this process, the big picture isn't be perfect. The big picture is open up. Like you said, be your authentic self, show your authentic self, show up and allow other people to come alongside you as they start seeking their authentic self. That's the big picture, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it. I love that.
No. Yeah. We talked about having the vision. We talked about writing it down. We talked about speaking it and getting it out of our heads, writing it down. We talked about our own voice, you know, why our voice is important, why we have to open up and share it. Now, if we were to take that and to really formalize it and start making some decisions about the version of our story that we want told, start making some clear decisions about the narrative that supports our story. How does the idea of writing your own version of your own story, taking that control, how does that make you feel?
Oh, exhilarated, like just empowered and unstoppable, that I am not a victim to somebody else's version of me. Oh my gosh. That the power is in my hands.
JoMarie.
Yeah, I am not a victim of somebody else's version of me. Mm-hmm. The power is in my hands, whether I have 10 years, 20 years, 50 years left on this planet. The beautiful thing is I have today. I have right now. And I can make that decision that I'm no longer, you don't get to form me. You don't get to form me. The only one that has formed me is Christ. And he said, the sky is the limit. Whatever I decide I want, that's within my grasp.
Exactly.
And along the path, he's allowed me to take up the tools and take up even the tragedy and the trauma that you've gone through. He's allowed you to pull from that the positive things and the tools that you need for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. And then to make the decision as to what is the rest of your life going to look like. So I feel exhilarated. And the only sad part is that it took me this amount of years to get here. You know, just like that becoming Michelle Obama's
Michelle
book.
Obama, yeah.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is sometimes for some of us, it took a while to get to that place where you value you enough to show up and you realize that what you have inside is not just for you, but it helps. So even if I help 10 people, that's one influencer. I love her to pieces. Her name is Jasmine Star on Instagram. And she said, you know, we're showing up for the one. That's it. We're showing up for one person. If I change one person's life, and it helps you to get out of that stardom mentality, it has to be the masses.
Yes.
No, you're showing up for one. So if I affect one person's life with my story, with my the small triumphs that I've experienced, then it would be worth it. And I don't want to give that power to somebody else. I want to take that power back and write my own story and make my own vision and work it out, that at the end of the day, if I didn't do it all, it's on me. You know, another pillar that is very foundation for Force Streams for our company is live. I know you've heard it, live full and die empty.
Yes.
Live full so that you can die empty. So it's about giving every single part of you, giving it all up, leaving it all on the table, giving everything that you have, all of the talents, all of the gifts, all of the skills. Everything comes to bear when you come to your company, and when you create, and when you design, and when you train and you teach, all of the things, right? You give it all, so that I'm not on my deathbed in, God willing, 50 years from now, saying, I wish I did, and why didn't I? And why did I listen to this person? That of that will matter. It'll matter. The only thing that will matter is what I gave and what I did, and did I make a difference? So writing my story is huge. It's everything.
Yes. And I mean, giving it all, you mentioned the talents and the skills and the abilities, but also the shame and the guilt and the mistakes and the trials and the tribulation. It all was used to create us as we are today. It's all, you know, that's the spice, right? That's the little thyme and the little oregano. And that's all of what makes us so uniquely special. Because even if two people go through an identical situation, their experience isn't necessarily identical.
Right.
And so that uniqueness, all of it has place, all of it has purpose. You know, there is reason behind all of it. You know, I'm really open to, you know, lots of different beliefs and whatnot. The only one I can't really personally I can't gel with is that it's all random and without purpose. I can't do that one. You know, I can't do that one. Yeah, that's a limit for me, you know. But to me, everything that I have lived through, when I stop and I recognize grace, how grace shows up and just takes over, you know, how gratitude shows up and multiplies itself, you know, there's purpose to all of it, my sisters. Absolutely. And you know, in all of that, there's this idea of, you talked about the mountaintop, you know, you talked about coming through it, you know, you talked about, you know, it may have taken us long to get here, but we're here, and we still have to go. Here doesn't mean full stop, you know, still plenty more to do, right? Like Michelle Obama says, she's going to be that old woman that you just excuse, you know, like she says whatever she wants to say because she's going to be busy forever, right? But if we consider our victory, you know, what are some of the imageries that come to your mind when you hear the word victory?
I don't know if it's because I've been mentioning it a little bit throughout this interview, but I do think of mountains. I think of mountaintop experiences. Not that we are in competition to reach that mountaintop, but I see our own mountains. And my mountain might be smaller than your mountain, Nadia. You know, your mountain might be 3,000 feet high. My mountain might be 2,000 feet high, but it's my journey. And
JoMarie, come back to us, Joe. All right. Well, while JoMarie's internet kicks back in, guys, this has been a really thrilling conversation that we're having with JoMarie right now, and we've been talking about, you know, our vision, our voice, our version of the story, defining that version of the story for ourselves, so that we can experience this victory, so that we can experience this ability to walk in it. And JoMarie was just saying something that I never thought of, in terms of each mountain being our own mountain. You know, we have different mountains of different levels, and we're not here to compete against anyone else for the sake of their mountain. You know, we're not trying to race to the top of anybody else's mountain. We are here to embrace all of what comes with our ups and downs. And I think that that's so powerful. And honestly, it's something that I never even thought of before. A lot of our discussions in HERstory about victory are about that space of calm, that space of standing, you know, that space of standing within ourselves. As women, as visionary women, you know, we want to go and we want to do so much, and we want to, you know, we want to take over the world, but our mountains are ours to own. Joy was just recapping that last nugget that you dropped for us about us having separate mountains, and how I never thought of that imagery before.
Yeah, so sorry about that, ladies. I don't know what's going on with the internet. Probably have too many people in my house pulling on it. So sorry, but yeah, I mean, you said it in a nutshell so perfectly. It's we knowing that we all, because it's not a competition. Mm-hmm. Life is a journey. It's a process. It's a race. And we enjoy the journey more than that mountaintop, the completion of the journey. But it's not a competition. I'm not over there looking to see how far you are on your mountain. It's about my walk, my process. And as I go through the terrain that sometimes could be traumatic, painful, crippling, I pull from that the tools that I need to get me, because I know that there's higher, there's better. And as I get to those higher levels, I need to pull from those tools that I learned way back when. Yeah. So it's a journey, and our goal is to get to that top of the mountain when we close our eyes for the first time, that we could say that we've again left it all on the table.
Left it all there. Right.
Yeah, left it all there, and just the joy and the contentment in knowing that we gave everything that we had to give. But it's a climb. And it's adjusting to the different altitudes, and it's a climb, it's a process, it's difficult, but it's worth it. It's worth it all. Yeah. Rather than being at the end of your life and never trying anything. And unfortunately, the graveyard is filled with people with regret. So let's do it. Yeah. The critics will always be there. Let's do it anyways. Exactly, in the face of.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, and we have a running joke in my family. It's from a really old, dumb meme, you know, from when memes first came out.
Yes.
And they said, what was it? Haters gonna hate and potatoes gonna potate. So just let people do what they're gonna do.
I love it. Potatoes are gonna what?
Potate.
Yeah, but just poking silliness in it, right? And being willing to laugh at yourself and not take life so seriously. It's going to be okay. Yeah. It's going to be okay.
Yeah. And that's, you know what, sisters, at the end of the day, that right there, as simple as it is, those are some of the most powerful words to encapsulate everything we've been talking about. It's going to be okay. You know, it's going to be okay. And you know what, JoMarie, those words have actually gotten me through some of the toughest things. I remember crying and holding my stomach and saying it to me, because nobody else knew, you know, so nobody else could say it to me because they didn't know what was going on. I was the only one that could remind myself, it's going to be okay. It's gonna be okay. All I have to do is see tomorrow's sunshine. That's
Yes.
that was what got me through. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
okay, And so
Mm-hmm.
as it's funny because as we get older, we start realizing that even the old cliches that were so annoying that people told us before, like, they're so
Yeah.
powerful.
We're pulling from them now. We're like holding on, holding on to the words. Yes.
Holding on for
Some
dear life. Yes.
There was
Words.
wisdom. Yeah.
Wisdom, absolutely. Wisdom in those
Yeah.
words. Oh, my sisters, if you want to continue the conversation with us, let me tell you how you can get in touch with JoMarie. Actually, JoMarie, you tell them what would they find on your website when they go to visit?
Yes, well, on fourstreams.ca, we do actually have a masterclass on there. If you sign up, it's very simple. It's on the first page. You just put in your email and you'll be able to jump in to the masterclass where we talk a lot about entrepreneurship and how to scale your business, just really an introductory type of class for you, free of charge. And really inviting you at the end of that masterclass to sit down with me for a quick 15-minute chat where I could dive deeper into your business and kind of help to look at the blind spots that you may not have seen and areas where you could shore up your business and build strong. So that's definitely what you'll see on there, a few testimonials and some other great stuff. But yeah, that's where that website is pointing you towards.
Yes, please. And let us get on top of these streams, ladies, because I don't know if any of us had a pandemic written down in our 5-year plan.
Yes.
Right? I don't think any of us was like, I should prepare for a global pandemic or a global crisis, right?
Right.
But those of us
we build with the storm in mind. That's day one for finance. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So those of us that had them streams in 2019, come 2020 and 2021, we not now going figuring out streams. But if that's where we are, you need to hook up with JoMarie and let's make sure we get them streams coming in, because at any given point in time, who knows what will happen? We don't know what will happen. That's the whole point, right? The whole point is that nothing as secure as it seems, y'all. So let's make sure that we plan ahead. This is where you need them math geniuses now, all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden you need us now, right?
Now we're necessary. I love it.
Yes, please. And I'll make sure that JoMarie's link is clickable with all of the videos wherever you find us, so that you can go connect with her, check her out. Also, while you're there, if you consider yourself to be a visionary woman, come on in to HERstory, because we have a lot more in store for you. All month long, we'll be here at noon with a different fantabulous woman sharing her story. That's noon Eastern time. Catch the replay, #replay, and let us know what has resonated with you. If you enjoyed the wisdom and the giggles and you want more of it, we have an event coming up in April. It's called Hey Sister, Let's Color. And we're partnering with Sophia Soj Jackson, which is the voice you heard behind the video and behind all of our videos. That Hey Sister, I'm not going to destroy the song though, but you know what I mean. And Sophia has a coloring book. It's an adult coloring book. It's not one of those ones with the million tiny little pieces that, you have to pay so much attention to. It's a very nice, free-flowing coloring book. And every image comes with an affirmation. And so we're going to be getting into coloring and having really deep and meaningful conversations on these affirmations and what they mean to us and how we can apply them to ourselves. And while you're there, make sure that you get your me gift. Okay, so you can come into the event, but make sure you add that additional me gift. They were specially curated for you by Miss Marsha of Divine Executive Concierge Inc. Got all of it? Yes. And she has made sure that you have lots of amazing things in there that you can use to just bring it down after a long week, after the first quarter of the crazy year that we've been going through. Wind it all down and come hang out with your sisters. So make sure you grab your me gift and come join us at Hey Sister Let's Color in April. That link will be here as well. And if you want to be a part of any of the masterminds that we have going on in HERstory throughout this year, we have 5 phenomenal women, 4 really amazing women from 3 different countries who've joined me, and we will be taking you through vision, voice, version, and victory all year long. So I'll make sure that those links are all there. We've got plenty of homework for you to do. You see, we like homework, so we give you homework.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, wow, that's a lot. And that's so exciting. Like the rest of the year is jam-packed. It's excellent.
Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting. You know why? Because this is a space where, you know, we get to see the purpose behind the pain that we've experienced. You know, it becomes tangible, you know?
Yes.
And one of the things for us as visionary women is we're generous women, you know?
Yes.
We want to give. And that's why throughout 2021, everything we do at HERstory, everything you support, we're giving 10% to the Beautiful Foundation.
Yes.
Because we remember the unbeautiful moments, you know?
Wow.
We remember them so real that we don't have space to judge any of our sisters currently living through an unbeautiful moment. All right.
Yes.
So we're going to come alongside her. Yes. And support her. And JoMarie, I know that you are a leader at the Beautiful Foundation. I'm going to actually ask you to give us, from your perspective, a snippet of the impact that the organization is making. Sorry, I know that we didn't prepare for that, but
no, well, it's always on the tip of my tongue because it's just so empowering and impactful. I sit under the illustrious, most amazing Miss Judith Meikle, who is the founder and the executive director of that organization. And she had a vision just over 10 years ago to really pour into these ladies that have found themselves in transition. They're not staying there. They're not living there. It's just a moment that they found themselves in abusive relationships, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, substance abuse, you name it. And her passion, her heart was to show them that even in the midst of that season, God sees them completely different than that circumstance, that they're not to be labeled according to the situations that they've gone through, but they are beautiful, they're magnificent, they're fearfully and wonderfully made. So she's found ways of pouring back into these ladies and giving them that hope and the understanding that they have so much to give, that they've, even though society sometimes writes them off, there's a community that's waiting to love on them and walk that journey out with them. So there's lots of programs to help them get back to work, to help them with parenting, to help them, even the practical things. I mean, Judith gives away tons of clothing for them to do interviews and just so many resources that are available at the Beautiful Foundation. And I'm so honored and proud to be a part of this organization. And I'm so happy that HERstory has joined because we need all the help we can. We need all hands on deck. So ladies out there that are listening that may not be a part, we're always looking for volunteers. If you specialize in a certain area that you feel that you could add to our already amazing offering to our community, then I know that Judith Meikle would be open to a conversation. So excited about 2021 and all that we're about to do. We're also, I know Judith is going to be speaking later on in the month, and she'll be talking about the partnership with the Armed Forces of Canada. Blow my mind. I'm not going to steal her thunder. I'm going to let her do her thing.
Oh, man, you just get a little drop today, guys. So make sure you come back for Judith's interview. Yeah.
Yeah, but she is a powerhouse. So I'm so looking forward to her interview. And I know she'll share a ton more later on in the month. Yeah.
Yes, all very exciting. Thank you so much, JoMarie. Are there any parting words for us before we say bye to everyone today?
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Nadia. I'm always here to pour into, to help, to share my journey, and to support you in everything that you do. I do think we need to interview you, Miss Undercover, amazing, fabulous woman. Like, what's going on? Every year we get an interview. What about This woman has done so much work internationally with the UN, traveled the world. When are we going to hear about your stuff? You laugh.
No,
It's okay.
no,
I get you. I get you.
I like how you like threw that in there while we were still live. It wasn't like a suggestion on WhatsApp. It wasn't like, it just put me on full blast.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Very soon.
Mm-hmm. Well,
To do something serious.
Yeah, apparently you have some,
Some support. Yes. All right.
Wow.
Get it on the books, girl.
We'll see. But yes, I have definitely been, and all of this has been a part of my journey to open up and to start sharing more of my story, the highs and the lows. I've been just as quiet about the highs as the lows for so many years, and a lot of it was because I felt as though the lows diminished the highs.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a zero-sum game, like, oh, there's a math term for you. But yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
But
I felt like,
doesn't,
there was
right?
Exactly. There's no tally, there's no adding and subtracting of points, And so, yes, Miss JoMarie, I'll be sharing a lot more of my story.
I'll be watching. And I'm sure the other ladies would love to hear your story. We all have that to give, at the very least. That to give, yes.
I agree, 100%.
Yes. All right.
My dear sisters, y'all heard it here. My sister done put me out there, all the way out there on the limb. But yes, I take it. I take the challenge. And we are all going to be back here throughout this month, every day in March at noon. So please make sure that you set your timer, set your alarm. We'll be here for you. So let's come on in and join the party. And thanks to everyone who commented live today. This is awesome. And #replay and let us know what resonates with you whenever you get a chance to watch this. JoMarie, thank you, my dear, so very much. Thank you.
Love you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Bye, everyone.
Hey, sister, sit and store what I'm about to preach on. Damn, sister, close the door. Watch what you step out on. I said, hey, sister, so before you become a sin, I said, hey, sister, there is more, even if you think there isn't. When you live your life day to day, there will always be obstacles in your way.